So, lads, this is not a great look for the Indiana Fever organization. If you've got Caitlin Clark, the star of the Indiana Fever, she's going and seeing whatever about not seeing the Indiana Fever's doctors. Like, it is what it is with that. It is what it is. Like, I think a lot of players and teams get second opinions. But if you haven't seen here, Stephanie White says there's no update on Caitlin Clark or potential timeline. She met with another doctor, but White says she hasn't spoken with
The superstar who reignited Indiana's passion for basketball has just made the boldest statement in WNBA history, without uttering a word. Caitlin Clark, the unmistakable face of women's basketball and a player who draws crowds rivaling Taylor Swift concerts, has reportedly severed communication with the Indiana Fever's medical team following her recent groin injury.
Pretty much kind of leaked out the bag to the team that she was kind of going to get a second opinion. To me, an athlete like Caitlin Clark on her level, she should have been getting these second opinions. She should have been hearing from all these other doctors, man. But Stephanie White spoke to the media yesterday. She really didn't give a whole lot, but she did say that Caitlin Clark was in New York meeting with other doctors. Now, with all of that being said, what does the timetable look like to me for Caitlin Clark coming back? I keep telling y'all, around the 17th to the 30th of August.
Frankly, it's long overdue that someone held this organization accountable for sidelining a once-in-a-generation talent like she's just another name on the roster. Behind the scenes at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, a much deeper story is unfolding, and it may explain why Caitlin Clark could already be eyeing an early exit from Indiana, much sooner than anyone saw coming.
She has met with a different doctor, and she won't even give an update to the team. Not, oh yeah, she's met with a different doctor and we're waiting on an update. That's basically it. They're waiting on, she's gone to a different doctor and they've heard nothing.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. When Caitlin Clark limped off the court on July 15th against the Connecticut Sun, clutching her right groin with visible frustration, it wasn't just another injury, it was a turning point. According to sources, this is shaping up to be a Kawhi Leonard situation, where a superstar loses all trust in her team's medical staff, and the fallout could be seismic.
Caitlin Clark. Following a July 15th injury to her right groin, Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week. The team can confirm that no additional injuries or damage were discovered through the evaluations. Clark will continue working with the Fever medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation, with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for Clark's return, and no additional details will be provided at this time. Any further updates will be shared as they become available.
Clark has now endured 4 separate muscle injuries this season: a left groin strain, a left quadriceps issue, and now a right groin strain. For a player who never missed a single game due to injury during her storied career at Iowa, or in the early stretch of her WNBA rookie season, this sudden string of setbacks isn't just unfortunate. It's a glaring pattern that points to something far more troubling: medical mismanagement.
Something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after a quad injury, she had no practice time, which, if that's actually true, like if she wasn't practicing, if she wasn't going full speed, then why was she returning to the court? And that's actually something that I pointed out. I believe it was Scott Agnes reported that Caitlin had gone full speed in practice, but there was only one practice that she had gone full speed, and then she returned to.
The tipping point came when Clark was rushed back from her earlier groin injury, only to re-aggravate it just a few games later. According to sources close to the situation, Clark made her stance crystal clear to team officials. "I'm getting my own doctors. I'm not using our doctors." She has since consulted with outside medical experts and has reportedly cut off all communication with the team's training staff, refusing to provide updates or status reports.
Has made it known, we are going to be holding her out until she is fully recovered. We are not going to be rushing her back at all. After taking Indiana Fever's advice, eventually Caitlin Clark needs to take matters into her own hands, make decisions for herself, and I believe that's what we are seeing with the team that she now has surrounding her.
Let's lay out the facts the Indiana Fever would rather keep quiet. Caitlin Clark's injury timeline reads like a case study in medical mismanagement. On May 3rd, she was sidelined with left leg soreness, missing the exhibition opener. By May 26th, she was out again, this time with a left quadriceps strain, marking the first missed game of her career. In June, she missed 5 more games due to a left groin injury. Then came July 15th, when she suffered a right groin injury in the final minutes against the Connecticut Sun. And most recently, on July 24th, the Fever announced there would be no timetable for her return, offering no further details. That's 11 regular season games missed, plus the Commissioner's Cup final. For perspective, that's nearly half the WNBA season lost to recurring soft tissue injuries that, with proper conditioning and medical oversight, are often preventable.
We're speculating that Caitlin Clark injury could be much worse than expected. These type of injuries and the way she's been getting these injuries is not normal to have these strains back to back to back like this. And I said this before, Caitlin Clark mobility is off, bro. I believe she might have came back too fast from the first. We all know the first one went down around the 25th of May. Then she came back and got re-injured around the 4th of July to the 5th, somewhere up in there of July. And then that brings us until now.
Here's where it gets telling. Clark sought second opinions in New York. Without informing the Fever's medical staff, Coach Stephanie White admitted she hadn't even spoken to the trainers about what those outside doctors found. When a star player goes rogue on medical decisions, it's no longer just about injury, it's about broken trust. Fans expected an upgrade when the Fever hired White over Christy Sides. She had the credentials, 2023 Coach of the Year, a former champion with the team. But instead, they've gotten a coach trying to fix what wasn't broken.
Only good news about today is Caitlin Clark is no longer dealing with Stephanie White and these coaches and this Indiana Fever medical staff, trainers, doctors, none of that. She's seeing her own medical doctors, her own team. That's the only good news of today. She has abandoned the Indiana Fever medical staff, and I'm happy about it. She's pulling a Kawhi Leonard, what he did with the San Antonio Spurs, letting it be known, hey, look, I'll get back to y'all when I'm ready. I'm going with my own medical staff. Y'all can beat it, kick rocks, and I stand with you, Caitlin Clark.
Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Christy Sides knew how to use Caitlin Clark. Say what you will about her flaws, but she understood that when you have a generational talent, you build around her. Sides let Clark run the offense, control the pace, and play her game. The result? Record-breaking stats, a playoff berth, and packed arenas. Now, Stephanie White wants Clark playing off the ball, splitting touches. That's not just a tactical shift. It's a fundamental misunderstanding. You don't take the ball from Magic. You don't sideline Jordan. And you don't shrink Clark to fit a system that can't handle greatness.
Of this team is Stephanie White. It's Stephanie White. It's not Caitlin Clark. A great player don't all suddenly sucks. That doesn't happen. It's strategic. And everybody's saying that they played better without Caitlin Clark. No. Actually, even this loss, Caitlin Clark gives them a better chance. They're under 500 without Caitlin.
Clark's frustration became obvious after the Fever's July 22nd loss to the Liberty. Photos showed her and her agent in a private tunnel meeting with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and stars Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. With her agent present, this wasn't just small talk, it looked like a business conversation about the future. Sources say Clark has cut off the Fever's medical team, choosing her own doctors and keeping medical info private. This kind of move is rare in women's basketball and closely mirrors Kawhi Leonard's split with the Spurs. Experts say her recurring groin and quad injuries suggest deeper issues, poor conditioning or rehab missteps. Either way, it points to serious mismanagement.
But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
There. Why Caitlin Clark was injured is a real thing. It's not just because she's a good player and people go hard against her, in my opinion. There's some other stuff going on there. A lot of pressure to put people in seats, to put eyeballs on the game. You come back a little early. Teams, as they should, play hard against her. Some teams go over the line and refs seem to look the other way, in my opinion. You had some of that going on with some other talent in the league as well last year. But this is different. And Stephanie White needs some blame as well. The team seems a little rudderless.